Hello and welcome to my review of the 2006 Honda CRF 250X. The 250X is an excellent trail bike for beginners, intermediate riders, or experts. It was introduced in 2004 and has been around through 2015 with not many model changes. But if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's not just a scaled down version of a CRF 250R with electric start, headlight, and kickstand, which are all great features to have, by the way. It also has a wide ratio transmission with a lower first gear, engine designed and developed for more low-end torque, and a trail-tuned suspension with Showa forks and rear linkage and an aluminum frame. All of these factors add up to a bike that is an absolute blast to ride. I've been riding ATVs for several years, and this is the bike that really got me back into riding dirt bikes again. My girlfriend's son got one, knowing its capability, after learning to ride on a 230F. I took it for a few spins and was immediately impressed and amazed at how easy it was to ride. I'd been slowly getting back into dirt bikes and had purchased a couple of motocross bikes, 2-stroke and 4-stroke, but they just did not work for me on the trail. Riding the CRF was a breath of fresh air. The bike is very easy to ride over any type of terrain. Even though it is based on a 250 4-stroke race motor, the gearing and engine tuning are spot on for the woods. The bike does a decent job of lugging at lower speeds and will build up revs very easily with the snap of a throttle. Second and third gear are sweet spots, especially on double track, and you can open the bike up and build speed quickly and easily. The suspension soaks up all types of terrain and does a great job of isolating you from the rough stuff, which makes it easier to pick a line on a trail, and it keeps you from getting as fatigued because the bike is doing more of the work for you. The suspension also keeps the bike very stable in a straight line, even over sandy, loose, and rocky terrain. The brakes are good, and the clutch is fairly easy to modulate. The headlight is handy to have if you end up out on the trail a bit longer than you intended. Lifesaver, actually. Even with the engine set up for low-end torque, it still revs out nicely with an impressive 12,000 RPM plus red line, and sounds good doing it. The 04 and 05 motors were known to drop valves, but from what I understand and have read online, 06 and newer do not have that issue. The 06 I've ridden quite a bit over the past 6 years has not had any valve issues. It's been a very reliable bike for its owner overall. Once you get comfortable on the bike, it's very easy to ride it at higher speeds on the trail. As I mentioned earlier, for a bike with such forgiving suspension and an easy-to-use motor, you can really carry some momentum and wheelie over any rocks or smaller jumps with ease, and while feeling very confident and comfortable. The bike just never seems twitchy or nervous on the trail. This feeling builds confidence and comfort in riding quickly, which is especially great for newer riders. I had a friend that wanted to get into riding and bought pretty much the exact opposite first bike of what you should have, a mid-2000s Suzuki RM250. He had a lot of difficulty riding the bike in areas of poor traction, and it was difficult to balance the bike and the power as a new rider. After watching him wipe out a couple of times and generally struggle on just one trail ride, we got him to ride the 250X, and he immediately looked like a transformed rider. With just his second time on a bike and first time on the 250X, he was riding with confidence, more speed and control, and did not crash or fall over once. I have ridden the X on a motocross track, and there you can tell it's tuned more for the trail. It feels a bit heavy and not quite as responsive, and it's easier to bottom out the shocks on bigger jumps. So I would not consider this bike to be something that can pull double duty. But in the bike's defense, that is not what it's made for. Once you get back on the trail, you remember the intention of the bike and begin to smile again. For anyone looking to get back into motorcycle riding or introducing someone else to riding, I can't recommend this bike enough. I've seen used 06 and newer bikes for between $2,000 and $3,000, so keep an eye out and you can find a good bike at a decent price. If you get a chance to ride one, definitely take advantage, and if you get a chance to buy one, make sure you do that too. I don't think you'll regret it. Thanks for watching and happy riding.